เรียนคุณชัยยุทธผู้บริหารบริษัทประกันผู้เข้า
Dear Mr. Chayut, dear colleagues, agents and representatives, distinguished guests, good afternoon.
It's a great honor to be able to speak in this really special InsurTech fair. And also this gives me an opportunity to meet up with many old friends and meet many new friends. When I woke up this morning, I realized my voice suddenly disappeared. And the only reason I can think of for that to happen must be that I was too excited about seeing all of you today. So instead of torturing all of you for the next 30 minutes or so, I'm going to keep my sharing relatively brief. Where possible, I'm going to let the slides do most of the talking. And I will briefly cover two items. One, why ESG matters and why there's an urgency for all of us to do something about ESG matters. And number two, how AIA as a group uses ESG to reduce risk and create value. Just a very quick introduction for those of you who are not familiar with AIA. As a group, we've been around for more than 100 years. We are the largest life insurance group in the world by market capitalization, and we are exclusively Asia. We operate in 18 markets in Asia. And as you can see, being a company as old as AIA, business sustainability is very much part of our DNA. And of course, AIA Thailand, many of my colleagues are here, is a very important business unit within AIA. We are very fortunate to be able to operate in this amazing country for the last 85 years. And we've been doing reasonably well. In many areas, we are the market leader. We cover almost one or every three life insurance policy issued in this kingdom. We have more than 5 million customers and about 8 million policies. So that's a quick introduction about AIA and AIA Thailand. Let me move on to my first topic, which is why ESG matters and why there's a great urgency for us to do something about ESG. I'm sure all of us agree that the world we are living in today is facing some unprecedented challenges that require the close collaboration of both public and private sectors. And one of the most critical issues is climate. Climate change is definitely the defining issue of our era. Often we talk about having to take care of the planet so that our children and children will not have to face the issue with the climate. But the truth is, many of the issues and challenges are already here with us. So these are some of the events that my colleagues helped me to compile, of some of the extreme weathers and some of the disastrous outcome due to extreme weather. And bearing in mind that all this happened this year, these are all the extreme events that happened in 2023. And the year is not over yet. We're just in September. So based on most of the studies, the temperature now is about 1.1% or degree above the pre-industry level. And even at 1.1%, we are feeling the direct and significant impact. And the good news is, based on some of the latest climate report, it seems that the world still have a fair chance of limiting global temperature rise to 1.5 degree. And all of us understand the significance of 1.5 degree because based on most research, beyond 1.5 degree, we are going to experience some horrendous, rapid worsening of climate that will be almost certainly irreversible. And of course, other than climate, we are facing some of the issues, some societal issues, some issues due to poverty, and so on and so forth. So we really need to refocus on leaving the world a better place for the future generation. The good news is there is a widespread acceptance of importance of sustainability. Being sustainable means to meet the current needs, the needs of our generation, without compromising the ability of the future generations to meet their needs. And more so, the idea that a business, an organization, is just part of a bigger ecosystem. And the organization can only thrive, can only be sustainable if the entire ecosystem is sustainable. Huge more effort, I'm sure all of you read about this, huge more efforts have been put in globally. And one of the significant development was quite some time ago. In 2015, 193 United Nations member states adopted the 2030 agenda. It's an agenda that set out 17 global goals, which are closely interlinked, and that all the experts believe are absolutely critical for us to achieve sustainability. I'm sure many of you have read or come across many statistics about ESG. I'll just put some of them on stage just to illustrate how widely accepted, how widely recognized the importance of ESG has been, especially over the recent years. So as you can see, most experts believe that the AUM managed based on ESG principle, we reach about 1/3 of the global AUM by 2025. There is a whole range of consumer survey that shows more and more consumers, especially the younger ones, are prepared to pay more to companies that they deem as embracing the sustainability principles. Likewise, the regulators globally, OIC included, have stepped up their effort to nudge, to supervise, to come up with the new guidelines and expectations so that financial institutions will have to take ESG a lot more seriously. And of course, even when it comes to employees, the ability of a company to attract talented new employees in the company, ESG is more and more also one of the considerations. And the reverse is true. There are no shortage of examples of what happened to organizations that were not able to manage the ESG risk well. We've seen a very sharp drop in valuations of company when they mess up on some of the ESG issues. And we've seen some massive loss in reputations across quite a wide range of organizations when the customers in particular take them to task on ESG issues. So there is an extremely compelling case for every organization, both public and private, to want to champion, to want to lead in ESG, because that's becoming an increasingly important focus if you want to grow your business faster, if you want to manage costs, if you want to reduce the risk, or you want to increase the trust. And of course, of all the issues under ESG, the one that's gotten the most attention, for all the right reason, is climate. I've shown you some of the examples of how hot the world has become, not just in one particular part of the world, but across all continents. So for all the right reason, climate change has received a huge more attention. More and more organizations, my organization included, we have made a serious net zero commitment. The regulators are in the process of mandating regulatory disclosure on climate. And more rating agencies are focusing on assessing sustainability of the company that they rate. Likewise, a lot more funds are channeled into climate financing. And just last month, I'm not sure if all of you realize this, just last month, this international organization, ISSB, actually issue a global standard on disclosure and reporting on climate risk. So what do we do as a company? What do we do as a group? At AIA, we start from our purpose of helping millions of customers live healthier, longer, better lives. And we do that in 3 different ways. We do that via our role as an insurer that provide life and health solution to our customers. We do that as a responsible investor, the way we go about managing some $300 billion of asset that we have as a group. And we also do that by being a responsible business in the way we engage our employees, our sales force on a day-to-day basis. So our group's strategy, AIA Group's ESG strategy, starts from keeping our house in order or building strong foundation. The 3 key areas of strong foundation that we are focusing on is number 1, green operations, reducing carbon footprint by having green buildings, minimize to the largest extent possible the use of paper, and also encouraging good practice on a day-to-day basis in the office. And the second pillar is about people and culture. Just foster a learning culture that support employee development, that speak to the S component of ESG, embedded a culture of ethical decision-making and responsible risk management is what Kun Saurabh mentioned earlier, and also ensuring there being a fair and equitable process at the workplace. And the third foundational work that we do is effective governance. Strong corporate governance with a program that's consistent with international best practices, both at the management level as well as at the board level. As you can imagine, every strong strategic decision must be backed by a robust framework of measurements, which means KPIs. We do not just have a strategy. We have a strategy that's backed by 5 key pillars, and within each pillar, we are very clear about what we set out to achieve. And we rigorously, diligently measure the performance of each of the components under the 5 pillars. So we're, in a sense, applying the same rigor to ESG as the way we run our business. So far, we've been performing reasonably well. We make our net zero commitment some 2 years ago. We have fully divested from coal in 2021. And we make meaningful progress in each of these 5 pillars. And we made a commitment to actually disclose them. Right? So under the first pillar, that speaks to our business, health, and wellness, we have the ambition to help 1 billion individuals in Asia live healthier, longer life. And for that ambition, up till now, which was rolled out across all 18 markets, and for that ambitions, we have successfully engaged, one way or another, close to 250 million individuals in Asia. And of course, our core is about protection. In total, we provide more than $2 trillion of protection. We paid more than 16 billion of insurance benefits. And under sustainable investments, I mentioned to you, we make the serious net zero commitment. We are 0% coal now. And also in our investment process, we manage most of the assets ourselves. In our investment process, we have a well-established and diligently applied ESG rating scorecard. So every single investment decision that we make, we will look at that opportunity and score that opportunity vis-a-vis the ESG rating scorecard. And on sustainable operation, 87% of all the submissions that we receive, either when customers want to buy policy from us, either customers want to make changes to their policies, change address, change sum assured, want to surrender the policies, or even at the claim stage. Right? So 87% of all the business transactions or requests for transaction that we receive are now done digitally, at least at the admission stage. And all our new buildings, quite a few are in Bangkok. Yeah. All our new buildings are green certified, which costs a bit more, but we are totally committed. We believe that's the right thing to do. In terms of people in culture, the 42% of senior management roles within the entire AA group are women. And we participate in the Bloomberg Gender Equality Index. And effective governance, which is a very important aspect of ESG. We are top rated by Sustainably for the insurance industry. And at the group level, as a group, we are listed in Hong Kong Stock Exchange. At the group level, 100% of our group board members, excluding the CEO, are non-executive and independent. And of course, we do not do that by ourselves. We work very, very closely with many external stakeholders. And we always appreciate the opportunity to participate in forum discussion, including today's opportunity. And as a group like AIA, a lot of our initiatives, a lot of our contribution, a lot of strategy are actually driven within each market. The group set up the strategy with input from the market, and the market, every country will then go about diligently, effectively execute the strategy. Let me just highlight some of the key initiatives of AIA Thailand. We are the first insurance company to participate in the Global Compact Network. Right? That's part of our initiative to work with international organizations and champion the cause. Of course, we are very active in supporting biodiversity. And also, we work closely with many investees companies to help them go through the migration out of coal. Yeah. As I mentioned, we are 0% co-exposure now. In fact, to achieve that, we have to sell out more than 10 billions of co-investment. And of course, we are always very proud of our people. A huge amount of training, support is given to every employee or AIA to make sure they appreciate the importance of ESG. And we always try our best to create the right environment, both inside and outside of the office. So that's a quick run through of the first two topics. I hope I'm not torturing you guys too much here with my voice. So what are we doing next? Clearly, there's still a long way ahead. Yeah. Our ambition, having developed an ESG strategy, having identified the 5 pillars with strategic KPIs, our ambition is to make sure that we rigorously, effectively, diligently deliver on each and every one of the KPI which we believe are essential for us to achieve our ESG goal. So there's a long way ahead. Our net zero commitment, net zero means net zero carbon emission. Right? Our goal is to achieve that by 2050. But to achieve it by 2050, we actually started measuring since last year. And we committed to a lot of intermediate milestones. Yeah. Change new car to EVs, change all the bulbs in the office, get rid of the papers as much as possible, move into green buildings. Yeah. So there's clearly still a long way ahead, but we are pleased with the progress that we make so far. As I mentioned earlier, we can't do this by ourselves. We really need to get the support from everyone to connect, yeah, to drive an impact, and ultimately to make it truly sustainable. So we believe Thailand is a country that's in a great position to lead in this space. And as a major financial institution in Thailand, we would very much look forward to doing our very best to work with everyone, all of you, both private and public sector, to walk the path to champion this cause together. And finally, I just want to end this on the positive note. I started by telling all of you how terrible the climate has been. As a group, we really believe that ESG is absolutely critical. A lot of damage has been done. But if we all work together, there's still a good opportunity for us to create a much better world, a much better sustainable environment for everyone on this planet. And as a life insurance company, life and health insurance company, we issue a very long-term contract. Our insurance policy lasts for 100 years. Some of the new generation life insurance policy need to last for 200 years. Yeah. So we are absolutely determined to do our very best to serve our customers, to serve the community. Just want to thank all of you again for this opportunity. Khun krap.